I think I'm live. Yeah, I think it's on. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Under 1,000 Podcast. My name's Gershon. This is GP Snakes. This is a live podcast because you see, I just wasn't sure if I was live or not. This is a podcast where I bring on other YouTube reptile enthusiasts, hobbyists, breeders, and we talk about their YouTube journey and their reptile journey and get to know them a little better. It's a great way for me to network within the community and meet more people because I am an introvert. So this definitely helps me to get to know more people. Met so many new friends because of this, not only as guests, but people in the chat too. So thank you guys for being in the chat. Greatly appreciate you guys in the chat, which you guys are already here. What's up, Will? What's up, Area 51 Morphs? Hey, it's been a while. How you been? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been doing? So before we bring on our guest, guys, you know what we got to do. We got to say thank you to our sponsor for this episode. So without further ado, here's a sponsor of this episode. This episode is sponsored by Herp Collectors. They're a family-run business specializing in investment quality morphs to help other breeders achieve their project dreams and beyond. They are working with a couple different morphs specifically. Their baseline is Clown, Desert Ghost, and Hypo. And they're dabbing a little bit in the Ultramale and Pieds as well. So definitely check them out for ball python needs. They are slowly coming up in the industry and they're going to be producing some amazing animals very soon. But that's not all. They also have a YouTube channel. Of course, you know we're all about YouTube over here. They do a live podcast on their YouTube channel every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called Clutch Conversations. It's a great podcast. I was actually on it, and Mike does an amazing job interviewing guests. He also brings guests from all over the industry and talks to them. It's a definite watch if you're free on Thursdays. And if you're not, you can still listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcast apps. Their mission is also to share the excitement of working with these reptiles, as well as bringing people together to promote and preserve our hobby. So what are you waiting for? Go follow and subscribe to their YouTube, their Instagram, their Facebook, and their TikTok. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Herp Collectors. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you sponsoring this episode. If you don't know Mike, I did say in the commercial. Mike has his own podcast. Go check that out. Pat from Dragon Soul was just on it was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Was I asleep? I don't know. Because I've been working. I've been plowing for the last week, so my time's all off. Surprised I made it tonight. But yeah, go check him out. Thanks again for being a sponsor. His links are in the description down below. Follow him on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the other social media platforms he has. But guys, before we, get too carried away, let's go ahead and bring on our guests and get to know them a little better.
With the custom.
What's up? Hey, I had to cut it a little bit short because YouTube be like, I wasn't sure if it was royalty free music. So you play I think 10 to 15 seconds, and anything after that, they hit you with a copy strike. So I had to cut it a little bit short. But welcome. Up, How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Good. If you could go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and let them know what you breed and take care of.
All right, so I'm Glenn. I own and run 419 Morphs, guys. I work mainly with I work with Clown, Hypo, DG combos as well. I do have a couple of those. I do have some Pied, and I also have Ultramale, and I will be working with Puzzle as well. So mainly recessive stuff for the main breeder stuff, and then the pet quality as well. Just your basic combos.
Okay.
Expos and stuff. So
Nice. So we, as you know, guys, his links and stuff will be in the description down below. He's on Instagram, he's on YouTube. Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok. I do have a Facebook page, but I don't really use it too much. Most of it is on YouTube and Instagram now. Because
Okay.
I do the podcast as well as what you do on my YouTube account as well. So check out the podcast as well.
The podcast is every Saturday at what time?
Normally at 6 p.m. when I do them. Normally
Okay.
Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I try to get anyone. Like, you need to come on it, Gershon. You haven't been on it yet.
All I'm waiting for is an invite. That's all I need.
We'll set something up, man.
Definitely.
For that we'll get Jeremy. I see Jeremy's in the chat too. You can get Jeremy on there too, because
Okay.
he's
Definitely.
his podcast right when I was very beginning, like when I was just starting.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to get Jeremy on the podcast too. Cause it's grown quite a bit since then.
Nice. I know. I wonder. I sometimes wonder if people don't ask me because they think I'm too busy because I'm always doing something, and I'm like, yeah, I do, but just give me a couple weeks out, and I can make sure I can make them. Make them sure I'm free. Just give me. I just need dates, and I can work some stuff around. Yeah, but yeah, definitely go. Make sure you guys follow all his social media platforms. Go hit that follow, like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. How do you know where you are on your YouTube, where your subscriber count is? Are you close to like a milestone?
Right now I'm at 343. We are doing, me and Carr are doing, and I got a couple other breeders too, like Chaotic Creations, I believe. Bryce, I know Bryce is going to do a giveaway too on that. We're doing a 500 giveaway on that. So make sure you sub. I know Carr is giving away a pair of Het Pieds. You're going to go back in the podcast and check out that information for that. We are doing free shipping on that too. So 100% free to the winner of that.
Nice.
You can't beat that. We're giving away a male and a female. So I'm going to give away a shirt, a sticker package as well, maybe a snake. I don't know. We'll see where I'm at. Then I got 2 more snakes left from the first clutch. So we're trying to hit that 500 subs. So that's what we're working for.
Definitely. So make sure you hit that 500 sub. Make sure you subscribe. And if you are subscribed to his channel, send it to somebody else and tell them to subscribe as well.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, definitely. So we brought you on to get to know a little more about you, get to know about your YouTube experience and your reptile experience. Like questions, we like to keep it fun over here, cool, relax, but just a way to get to know you a little better. So let's go ahead and dive into the first question once I find it, because I'm prepared, but you know how it is. Stuff is always not where you thought it was at first. So you're always moving around. So, first question: how long have you had your YouTube channel?
Oh, I probably started the YouTube channel from day one. Honestly, when I first started breeding, I started to establish the YouTube channel. I still remember having like 10 subscribers, and it just growing from there. So I don't really care so much about the subscribers. I mean, it's important. It's awesome to watch it grow, watch people follow me, watch my progress. But it's more as a journal for me too. I can go back and go look like how far I've came along. And, it's kind of cool. I'm like, man, I look back now on some of the videos I created, man, these videos suck. Compared to now, like why would anyone follow me? But now, now the videos are awesome. We got intros. Like I figured it out. It's a great time. So
it is always great to go back and look where you started and where you've come so far from where you come. I've done that a couple times, like about watching how I used to talk on videos, how I can see myself just being terrified and super nervous and stuttering over my words, which I still do now. So not much has changed. But I can see my lighting's gotten better, or my sound's got a little better, or I'm more in frame now. But yeah, it is nice to see how you started and how you've progressed throughout that time. Did you start closer during the pandemic on your channel?
No, I wasn't even into this. I didn't start breeding. I didn't start getting into this till 2021.
Okay.
I'm going on year 2 right now.
Okay.
And then I'm so like the pandemic and stuff. Like I wasn't even aware of this yet. I had no idea. Hi Dominique, how are you doing? So yeah, I had no idea on this. Jeremy, I see you too in the chats. What's up, man? So yeah, I didn't start till after the pandemic. So when that whole craze was going on, I had no idea. I was just sitting at home being bored. I had still my banana Mojave, male at the time. Like I know he's a male now, and then I had a corn snake. That was it.
Okay. Oh wow. So this is very still newer to you,
It is,
and
yep.
you caught the bug and just started to go crazy with it,
Right.
like most of us did.
Right.
So when you first started, this is not even one of the questions, but this happens sometimes. When you first started, did you just start buying stuff you saw, or did you like get advice from somebody that was like, "Hey, don't go buy a whole bunch of stuff. Wait, look at what you really want first. Get females first."
Okay, so here's the startup. You want to know the startup story of this?
Let's get it.
Here's the startup story of 419 Morphs. So I had a supervisor on third shift, Eric. I had like I said, I had the banana Mojave at that time. I didn't know what he was. He was just a pet. I had the corn snake. He goes, "Have you ever thought about breeding ball pythons?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because like he would follow, Miguel and Justin and whatnot at this time. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. And so he introduced me to Morph Market. And so I'm looking at Morph Market and so I'm like, who would pay $2,000 for a dreamsicle? I'm looking at all these snakes and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? So then I started doing research on this. So I did 4 or 5 months of research on my own on YouTube, looking up other videos and stuff, looking up genes, how to ID genes, all that. How to like the process, like everything that I needed to determine if I wanted to do this or not. So at that point or whatever, I was like, I want to do this. So I bought from an auction or whatever, my first actual snake purchase. I had no idea what I was buying. I ain't gonna lie. My first snake purchase was a black pastel, or no, what was it? It was a black citrus pewter yellow belly, 100% het OG. So that was the first. Yeah, that was the first snake. I had no idea what I was buying though. I had no idea it contained, black pastel, cinnamon. I didn't really know. So I'm like, this looks good. I like it. I like what she looks like. And then I start to learn, and I start to learn more and more and more. As I was buying. So then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go high dollar on this. So I bought from Morph Jungle. I bought the Super GHI Hypo Girl. And then I bought a combo because then he produced a blackhead Enchi GHI yellow belly boy. And I'm like, at that point, I was like, I really like blackhead. Like I'm starting to wear my jeans and stuff like that. Like, I really like blackhead. Like I'm going to combine this or whatever and make it a package deal. I got my first snakes shipped to me again that were more high dollar. The problem with that was it was around Christmas time. Like I had a warm day here, but they got delayed a day. And actually, my super GHI Hypo almost froze to death on me because she got delayed. But I ended up warming her up with my hands. She was good to go. Now she's breeding for me.
Nice.
And then actually, as the years went on, I started learning more and more. I'm like, I'm gonna be a Hypo DG guy. I love Hypo, always have. And then DG became a big thing, and like the combo, love it. And then it wasn't supposed to be this big. Like as a project, like it wasn't supposed to be like, oh, I'm gonna do triple recessive, quad recessive, 5-10 years down the road. Like now I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing it. It's going down.
That's how it always starts. Like I wasn't supposed to be this big. I wasn't supposed to have this many, but it kind of just happened.
Right. So
I can totally get that.
Any point in time as I'm growing the YouTube and the Instagram. You guys, like my philosophy was, I'm not gonna produce these high dollar. If I'm gonna go high end, I'm not gonna produce these high dollar snakes and like no one knows who I am.
Yep.
I have to, do my social media first. So I started working that from day one. Okay.
Smart.
So as the YouTube channel grew and stuff like that, I'm like, and then I got introduced to Tiki's from Will. How is he? He introduced me to Tiki's and his crew. And then I got into the podcast through Tiki's, honestly. So he taught me the podcast and stuff. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the podcast too. It'd be awesome. So then I got into the podcast. I mean, it's just growing and growing, man. It's been fun.
I mean, it's such a great community. You get to meet so many new people in the process of learning stuff and building your own name, building your brand. You're getting networking and introducing yourself to people who become lifelong friends,
right?
If not family in the process. And that is one of the best things about this community that I like right now is that everybody's so helpful. Everybody's energetic to push you to keep trying to do better. Like they're not trying to put on your downfall. They're like, oh, I hope you don't. No, they're trying to help you as best they can.
Fail, like,
push
no,
you.
I like that.
Exactly. And I've heard it. The community didn't used to be this positive and this open and this helpful back in the older days. So I'm glad it has had an adjustment and change and has grown to this positive way of doing things. But I'm so excited for you to keep going though. Like that, that rush you get as you start growing, you see all that time and effort and that work you put in, and you're starting to see the reward from that as you get more subscribers or get more people following you or have people like recognize you at shows. That's crazy. I had someone recognize me for the first time at a show, and it wasn't even about snakes though. I had a whole. I used to have a other podcast where I talked about comic book stuff, and they recognized me from that, which had maybe 100 subscribers. But it is an amazing feeling to see people recognize and appreciate the work you do on your channels, and when you push out the information you do and try to entertain but educate at the same time.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
I went to Tinley, so I went to Tinley my first year. So I went out there to go network, and this was in 2021 when I was just starting to get into it. You know, no one knew who I was and stuff like that. You know, I did a big, video of Tinley and whatnot. Paul, get out of here. He's always got my secret. He always knows my secrets. I always give him crap. It's so funny. But so like I went to Tinley and stuff like that. Like no one knew who I went there network and stuff. Now I went there again in October. People were like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Glenn?" They recognize me. It's so cool. Like seeing the Tiki's crew and talking to Justin, from Canova, whatnot, and even some other ones like I can't think of his name offhand, or Python Serious or whatever. I can't think of. So many names to remember. He's many. He's like, "Hey, you're Glenn from before." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Like, what's up?" It's just the relationship is awesome. I wouldn't have it any other way. So Tinley's so much fun. I had a blast.
It is so much fun. It is definitely something you have to experience. Stories about it don't do it justice. You have to experience it.
Yeah, you have
honestly. It is one of the biggest reptile shows we have, period. So totally got to experience it. I'm trying to keep up. I know, guys, if you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat. I know I'm not the best.
Stupid questions. Dude, I'm gonna send you stupid questions. Go with it.
Hey, I always say the only stupid question is the one you didn't ask.
No, he was like, no, he's on some dumb crap. Like,
so you already told us. I kind of can figure out what your favorite recessive is, but what's your favorite codom and one of your favorite recessives?
All right, so my favorite codom would probably be your entry or blackhead for sure.
Okay.
So I like the dark snakes with the light contrast and stuff like that coming back through them. Recessive wise, it's obviously the combo of the DG hypo stuff. I love that. Hypo, mainly as well. So I took Will over to Tinley. So I think did you meet Will? I
met Will. I talked to Will a little bit. Yeah,
you met Will. Like we went to Tinley. Like I tried because Will and stuff was like a little bit lower collection. I'm like, dude, I tried telling him for like a couple months. I'm like, you need to like up it a little bit. If you want to, be a little bit well known, type thing. And then we just wait till we go to Tinley or whatever. Then he goes to Tinley and stuff, and he ends up dropping, more money than what he had. Like, I'm gonna up my collection. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like I do the same thing. So I think when we walked out of Tinley, I think we had between me and Will, like what we had in the bag, I think we had like $14,000 worth of snakes in that bag.
Jesus.
Jesus. I think we had like 4 or 5 snakes or whatever. We had like 14 grand in that bag. I'm like, yeah, we need to go. It was like 3 p.m. Like I'm done walking around and stuff. I mean, it was a great time.
Very difficult not to spend
so hard
money you don't have at Tinley, seeing all the amazing animals there. It's such a wide selection of different ball pythons and different genetics and different just looks of morphs. Like you get so used to seeing clowns a certain way,
Yeah.
and then people bring out clowns that have this different, unique look to them without even other codoms in them or other recessives. Their clowns just look super unique and very distinguished away from other clowns. Like, well, I gotta have that in my collection because that's a different look. It gives people a different perspective of that animal. So yeah, I kind of went to Tinley with a certain amount of money in my pocket and no credit cards, so I could not spend too much money.
See,
it worked out pretty well.
I didn't do that at all. I had a I had the DG Hypo chocolate Enchi girl that was already being delivered to Tinley for me to pick up from Ring Reptiles. He gave it to Steve Morphs. So I talked to Steve for a little bit because he had my snake and stuff. And then I started shopping around. I'm like, well, I've always been wanting to get into acid. I'm like, well, I was gonna make my own, but I'm like, here's an acid clown for like $5,000. I'm like, well, whatever. Here you go. So I ended up spending like $9,000 at Tinley. I was like, man,
that's a lot. That is a lot.
I'm not even gonna lie about. I bought two. I'm not even gonna lie about it, guys. I spent $9,000 at Tinley on 2 snakes. So,
I mean, but they're investments. Yeah, I think of it that way. They're investments.
Money back and stuff like
they're investments.
I want better your collection. And don't be disappointed. My advice. I've been disappointed in some snakes. That I've had on hold. Like obviously I had knee surgery. I blew my knee out. I had 4 snakes on hold that I was off work and I couldn't afford to pay for those right now. And I had a double head DG Hypo. I ended up, in the long-term run, when I went to Tinley, I ended up getting the visual form of it, the same snake, pretty much. So, I mean, everything happens for a reason, guys.
Yeah.
So if you can't get that snake right now, you might get the visual, you might get something better or whatever down the road.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta just wait. Unfortunately. So Paul asks, what's your long-term goal?
So my long-term goal is that I want to get out of the factory life. So I work 4/12s Monday through Thursday. I want to be done with that. I want to do the reptiles full time for sure. I want to be known as a DG Hypo type guy with the combos as well into everything. I'm a DG Hypo everything type guy right now.
Okay.
That is my goal as well. It's kind of like what I want to be known for. Like if someone like, oh, I need a DG Hypo combo, go to 419 Morphs. He has it. So that's my goal or whatever. Plus appreciate car. Got here that import car. But I mean that's honestly the long goal. I want to do it full time. I probably want to have a collection. I figure around 500, 1,000 with my own snake facility as well. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Not a bad goal. Like so, just on. As of the first 2 years you've been in it, how long do you think it might take you to get to that goal? Rough estimate.
I'm hoping 8 years.
8 years? Okay.
About 8-10 years maybe at max, I hope. Okay. So I'm going to have a lot of holdbacks because I am shooting for those double visual, triple recessive projects and whatnot. But I do have, a lot of the double visuals kind of already sitting there that I bought into. So I just have to, I'm hoping six years minimum, 10 years max. We'll see how it goes. But I am going to have a lot of holdbacks though.
Okay. That's not a bad time frame.
Nah,
it's not a bad time.
It's realistic.
Yeah.
It's realistic. But like I said, that is also, see ya, Jeremy, but that is also, being realistically with my holdbacks and stuff too as well.
Exactly.
You're going to take 2-3 years to grow those females up. You're going to have problems somewhere. Obviously, you're going to have setbacks and stuff. So I think more realistically, around 8 to 10 years is probably my goal. I want to do this full time, like where I can just sit back, take care of the snakes. I hope to have a snake facility or like a big snake, investment room where it's just here it is. You know what I mean?
Okay, I know there's a lot of people with that same kind of goal, and want to do that. but a lot of them are like, I think I'm gonna do it in 3 years. Like that's a little unrealistic.
Right.
You got to put yourself in that mindset that assuming everything goes right those first couple of years to where you can start building to that.
Right.
You're gonna have setbacks. We're working with animals that you gotta work on their terms. Honestly, sometimes they won't breed. Sometimes they don't lay. Sometimes you don't hit the odds you want. Right now we're going through a slight recession, so sometimes you won't be able to move animals like you would like to or get them sold. Right. You got to sit on a little bit. Those are the things that are kind of going to happen. So you have a realistic expectation of how to get to that goal. You're not giving yourself such a tight window to get there. So that's smart. That's very smart.
Be disappointed when you don't hit that goal.
Exactly.
It's more of a realistic goal for me. See, so I think like with the recession and stuff like that, I think it's a bunch of bull crap. Okay, you're seeing my opinion of this is you're seeing the market correct itself. See, I wasn't in this when the COVID hit.
Yeah,
so everybody got into this like when the COVID hit. All you're really seeing right now is you're seeing the smaller breeders wean themselves out. Does it suck? Yes, it sucks 100% because like that's potential customers, for us, ones that have a little bit more, higher end collection and stuff like that. But like in the long term run, if you're in this to do it full time, you're in this to do this full time. There is no reset. Now's the time to buy. Shit, prices are low. What are you talking about?
True.
Recession? I'm buying right now. You know what I mean? Like there ain't no recession. Like I'm buying, I'm breeding what I want to breed. Like here we go. So like. And then by the time that the market comes back up or whatever, like my females are going to be grown and I'm going to be making these bangers. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like the stock market, man. The stock market right now in the ball python industry is correcting itself.
Very true. Very true. I can totally agree with that. People don't realize things go in ebbs and flows.
Right.
And you gotta learn to be able to deal with it when it's low and still be able to do you contain yourself and keep your name out there. That is very important to keep your name out there during those low times. So when those high time comes, people still know about you and they talk about you to other people because like, hey, you getting that? I got this. Hey, this guy got this stuff. He been here for a while. He ain't going nowhere. He's here for the good run. So you got to show people you're there to stick around. It gives them more confidence in buying with you and doing business with you and working with you 100%. Mike said he's ready to retire. He's planning to retire July 31st, 2023. Mike, hey, touche. I like that confidence. I like that confidence.
For sure. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, like with the recession, I think it's a bunch of bull crap. I mean, like, people are gonna be a little bit. I miss the holidays right now. Wait till income tax season. People are gonna get their income tax, whatnot, and they're gonna be buying and whatnot. Like I said, now is the time to buy. If you're in it for the long run. So, how dedicated are you? Pretty much.
Pretty much, 100%, 100%. So let's hit another question. What camera do you use to make your YouTube videos?
What camera? I use the S22 Android phone, baby.
Yeah, nothing wrong with using the phone.
I use
nothing
the phone,
wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it.
Normally I have Semper Fi or Will. Normally he'll come over, he'll record for me if I don't have a video person. If I need something that requires a video person to record for me, I can't do it by myself. But yeah, I do the S22 Android phone, man. It does work, and then I edit it and do all that off our Power Director.
I mean, people forget that these phones are very high tech.
Yeah.
Some of them have 4K. Some of them got 8K now. So you can still use it. I get buying a piece of equipment that is specifically made for a certain thing. I totally understand that. But why limit yourself when you do that, when you can have a phone that can do multiple things just as well? Maybe not super tier, but still at the same tier.
It's so much easier just to download it or upload it off your phone than it is to take it off of a freaking camera or whatever, have to upload it, re-upload it, and do all that stuff. Now, like when I do when I do the podcast and stuff like that, I am on a laptop. So I am on a webcam and stuff like that off the laptop. I have an HD getaway streaming laptop. It's what it's made for. So I mean, it's a little bit so I mean, so that is a little bit more higher tech type thing. But like as for like the YouTube videos and stuff, like the phone it does fine. It's fine.
Beards for the win. So this is my cousin. This is my cousin. She's supporting by watching and give us his positive enforcements in the comments. Thank you, because I appreciate it.
Right? The beards for the win.
Hey, so that's another thing with how is your family with the snakes and the snake business?
Okay, so like
I know that look like
This is funny. So this is, I'm sure you heard it too, Gershon, from your family. I don't know, maybe not. So
nope, I've heard it.
I've had my dad and stuff like that. Like, he's like, I see where you're coming from with the investment, but he's like, I just don't see it. You know what I mean? He's like, I think you're just wasting your money away.
Understandable.
And, my mom's like, they all look the same. So I mean. It is what it is or whatever. Like, it's funny. I'm like, you know what? Like, it's fine, whatever. I get it. You don't know it. You haven't done the research. You haven't learned it. I'm telling you, there's a big industry for this.
Exactly.
People are always gonna buy snakes. Like, if you want to.
When I talk to people about snakes, and just like from buying the snakes to the racks to the food, all that, and tell them it's $1 billion industry, they're like, how? And I'm like, there's a lot of different things to it. It's not just one thing. It's $1 billion industry just for reptiles alone. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry when it comes to the pet trade itself.
Yep.
And people forget that because they just see PetSmart with the weird little iguanas for $50. And like, oh, I got to go get that. And they forget how much stuff goes into this industry, from the tools to the equipment to software to new inventions to food. There's so many things and so many different avenues that people don't realize about it, that they have to open their mind to it. And it's just amazing that it's still that left in the dark, which is, it happens in multiple different industries. People don't realize how vast it is and how intricate it can be from all the things that happen in it. And it's just amazing.
It is amazing. They're like, you spent how much on a snake? Like, I talk to new people and stuff, like, you spent how much on a snake? Like, the snake is worth how much? Like, that's nuts. Like, people don't know. They start explaining it to them and stuff like that, and they kind of get it and whatnot. But I mean, like, you don't fully get it until you're actually into it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Until you start to do those investments and watch the growth and get more ingrained into the industry, knowing people that have been in it for a long time, that been successful, that have been able to stop their regular job and this become their job in their career. You see the way it moves differently once you're invested in it and totally immersed into it. You see it in a different light. Which is great. It's really interesting.
People like, how many snakes? I'm sure you get it too. How many snakes do you have? I have like 34. Oh, they just got tanks everywhere. They slither around it. Like, no, like they're in racks and stuff. I'm like, that's a small collection. Like, that ain't nothing. I'm like, I know breeders that have like 1,500, 2,000 snakes. Like, this is nothing. Like, this is a pin right now because it's a little bit like higher end stuff. Like, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, like, wait till I have all my holdbacks and stuff. Like, this ain't nothing.
And it always boggles me that people think the snakes are just crawling around randomly in the house.
Yeah.
Like, why would that be the first thing you go to? Is they just loose in the house? Right. How does that make sense?
It makes no sense. Like, yeah, I have a $3,000 snake just roaming around the house. Like,
just roaming.
Yeah. Or you got tanks everywhere, don't you? Like, absolutely not.
I'm sorry, Zai. It's still amazing. The questions I get when I tell people I have multiple animals, snakes,
I agree
and I breed.
100% with you, man. I agree 100%.
But I do like that they are willing to listen.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple people that have been afraid of animals, and me talking to them about how I take care of them and breed them have given them a new respect for snakes to an extent to where they're not as afraid. Still don't necessarily want to touch one yet, but they're more curious about them instead of looking at them like that bad animal over there. So one person at a time, changing the world slowly.
Right. Mike, I did see that in the Coast Ractics and stuff. Or I did watch that podcast.
So
I was like, what?
she does let them loose.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, she does give them a lot more, but that's easier snake to let loose and find than a ball python.
Then a ball python is gonna go hide somewhere or whatever.
Looking for a dark corner. They're more exploratory and want to be around people to a more extent. And she's been doing it for so long, she knows their habits.
Right.
So it's a lot easier with that, which go check out Nicole. She has a podcast every Saturday. What is it? Reptiles and Cocktails every Saturday.
Yep.
I want to say 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I forget. It might be, I think it's 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think so. So she has great guests. She does a little more educational stuff on her channel, which I thoroughly like. You get to learn so much stuff. Sure. I'm gonna try to dip into that a little more, get more educational as the podcast go on. Because
I throw some educational stuff out there. Have backup males for one. So I have a red stripe entry clown that will not breed for me. It's a $3,000 snake. Will not breed for me right now. Actually, when I bought him when he was little, I actually almost lost him twice. He got caught in the Challenger. He got out of his bag because I was being dumb. I opened him up. I was like, "Hey, Mom, check out my first $3,000 snake." Take it over there. I go, open the bag. He's gone. I'm like, no.
Oh, your heart just dropped.
Car, so I had to unbolt the car and stuff. Granted, this is my sports car at the time that I have since sold and got a Zebra for, but dedication. So yeah. I end up getting him, and then the one day I come home from work and he's completely out of his freaking rack. I left it open at the time because I didn't know. I'm like, it's kind of high humidity. I'll just crack it open a little bit. No, bad idea. So I come home from work and he's completely gone. I got pictures of stuff knocked down off my walls. I'm like, there's a $3,000 snake around the, I don't know. This is my most expensive snake at the time. I have no idea where he's at. I start looking at following the wall. And he's going down my heat duct. And I grab him real freaking quick and I got him. I'm like, whew. Having a heart attack.
Yep.
That's having a heart attack, Gershon.
Yep. Yeah, I could totally understand. So it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays, and she also has 2 Ps in a Pod on Mondays at 8 a.m. with Dre from DW Exotics. Definitely go check those out. The Monday morning they talk a little more adult on that show, so be ready for that, but they be real, give you straight facts. They don't sugarcoat anything, so definitely go check that out as well. But speaking of backup males, it is time for Tip of the Week, and Tip of the Week actually talks about backup males. So look at that. This is that segue right there. I love it. So if you don't know, guys, Tip of the Week is when I put a post up on my Facebook and my Instagram, and under that post, all you have to do is put a comment, whether it's reptile related, YouTube related, or life related, and whichever comment gets the most likes will be featured on the next Under 1,000 podcast, and you'll get a shout out. So without further ado, let's check out this week's Tip of the Week. This week's Tip of the Week from Cyber Serpents. If your breeder male ball python goes off feed, try probing him to stimulate his hemipines, then feed. Works almost all the time for my boys during breeding season. That is a great tip. I didn't know that works that way. But I don't probe, I pop. So I wonder if that will do the same thing. Thanks for the tips, Cyber Serpents. Go check them out on Instagram. And that has been this week's Tip of the Week. There we go. I didn't know that either. Look, I literally. So when people send their tip in, I usually like it. I don't read it at that moment because I kind of want to be somewhat surprised during the show. So I record it literally 2 hours before the show. I record the tip and make the video and everything. So I was super interested that is a thing, and I've been texting people trying to see if they've done that. So I might have to buy a probing kit to try that if that's a thing. But I was like, wow, I didn't know that works that way. So that might be something to look into.
How long did it take you to pop? Know how to pop?
It didn't take that long. It didn't take that long.
No.
I watched Billy.
Yeah, that's where I learned too.
I watched Billy. It didn't take me. I wasn't as most time people are super afraid of hurting the snake, so they're real super gentle. I wasn't too afraid of hurting the snake because I've had snakes get loose, so I seen that they are very resilient.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna hurt you. I'm more terrified of actually probing because I feel I'm gonna push it too far and hurt them more with that than popping. So that's why I gravitated towards popping so much because I'm more terrified of doing probing. Honestly, how are you? Do you have you probed before?
I have. So like when I first started off, I did probing. That's how I knew that my banana was. I had a banana Mojave at the time, or whatever. I didn't know exactly what it was, but like based off of like when I was getting into it, I'm like, he's a banana Mojave. Now I didn't know whether he was a pet store buy. So like I didn't at that time. I didn't know if he was a male or female. Well, I'm like, so I bought a probe kit. So when I bought the probe kit and stuff, I'm like, all right, he's a male. So I started probing. I'm like, well, it's a lot easier to pop. It took me a little bit longer to pop.
Okay.
Stuff because, like I said, I was kind of like you, but like not like I was kind of gentle. I couldn't quite figure it out, and then like once I did, I'm like, all right, this is easy. So now I just pop, especially like the babies and stuff. It's so much easier. So like the popping is just so much easier now and stuff. Like I only had to probe if I absolutely have to, but like other than that, it's popping all day. It's so much easier. It's so much more convenient.
Yeah, it is. It is more convenient because we probably got to have Vaseline or at least get everything. I could pop right then and there. I've had friends just bring snakes over to me to pop them, and I'm like, yeah, you got a boy there. Just so you know, it's like, damn it, I thought that was a girl.
Yeah, I did have that happen though. So like I had a DG hypo male that I bought. I'm not gonna say from who. I'm not like that. I ended up dying because of poor shipping packaging because it was almost winter. So he died the next day. I came home from third shift. At that time I was working third, and he was dead. I'm like, all right, that's great. Like that sucks, Like, I don't want to see that at all from any snake, like just pass away because still a reptile.
Yeah.
Well, so at that time or whatever, the guy was like, well, I'll upgrade you a leopard DG hypo girl. I'm like, I really want a male. But I'm like, all right, it's still a nice upgrade. I'm having an extra co-dominant to this parent. So he upgraded me and I got shipped back and everything was good. He's like, and as I grew it up and stuff like that, like I sat there and I'm like, I guess it's really a girl. So I popped, I had someone else come pop it, and I probed it. It ended up being a boy. I'm like, oh, this is even better.
Yeah.
I got a leopard DG hypo boy for the upgrade for even better. But so I mean, like double check your stuff for sure. Like even if I get a snake from Canova or whatever, like mistakes happen. I always double check myself.
It definitely. I pop any snake that comes in. I pop just to verify.
Yep.
I've so you said you supposed to get a female. You got a male that was a replacement. Yep. So that was a positive in your favor. Usually that goes the opposite way where people want a female and get a male.
Right.
I've had it the opposite way where I wanted a male and got a female, and I tried to tell the breeder this is a female. Could you send me a male? And he was like, no, that's a male. I know it's a male. I popped it before it left. I was like, dude, I'm letting you know this is a female. And they were just a douche about it. And I was like, whatever, I'll take this more expensive animal than the one you should have sent me. Fine, no problem.
For sure. I mean, at the same point in time, as a customer stuff, I'm trying to provide great customer support. Where if you got a problem with something that I sent you or whatever, I'm gonna do my best to correct it.
Mm-hmm.
If I made a mistake with a wrong sex gene, I get it. It's probably for a project that you have. If you want a refund, or if I can upgrade you a snake or whatever for that mistake or whatever, I will.
Because I know you're trying to work a certain thing, and you wanted this certain sex because you planned your project out by getting this certain sex. So I understand.
Will just ran into that too because he had one that was missex, ended up being like a male or whatever, or a female that he didn't even need. And then he ended up buying my Super Mojave Possible Banana Het Hypo girl. But hey, this is a girl for sure, 100%.
Okay.
And at that point, he didn't have a girl for this project. I'm like, well, I hope the banana proves out for you, bro. So, I mean, that also be a tip of the day to double check the snakes.
Very true. So I'm gonna show my cousin who doesn't know what popping is, because she says it's suspect, and this is where regular people fall off.
Right.
Popping is basically sexing your snake to find out if it's male or female. So all you do is, this is his cloaca. It's let me get a darker snake. I forget pies don't show up. Oh, get off the wire. Pies don't show up that great.
No,
I just wanted to show off the one-eyed snake I have. That didn't mean to come out the way that came out. Pies don't show up that great either. Where's the dark? Okay, you're dark. Oh, and you got a bad shed. So this one's got a bad shed, but so don't mind it. Don't pay attention to that.
Don't pay attention. It's winter.
It's winter time. It gets drier in here
right now.
Very true. So all you do is don't pee on my computer. Don't pee on my computer. Push out and you see their hemipenes. Oh, you supposed to be. Oh, wait, are you a boy? Okay, there they go. So it's hard to see. But hemipenes. Let me get out of the way. Maybe I can block it. Nope, maybe not. But that's what sexing is basically.
Whoa, what's going on?
Did it spray on the camera? Oh, I thought it sprayed.
We bust out everything, Mike. Like you don't even know.
Bust it out. But Mike, we might have to start hashtag pop gang. I like that. But yeah, that's how you sex your animals. Usually males have purplish reddish hemipenes that pop out. They pop out like
pretty
3-4 centimeters.
You can't confuse the female sweat glands either for hemipenes as well. That is a mistake.
True.
So
that's why.
Normally, if it's more of a pink color, it's obviously a female. If it's more of a purplish color with the hemipenes and stuff, obviously the male. But when I was learning how to pop and stuff, I was learning that you gotta be careful. A lot of times people would mistake the sweat glands or whatever a female for a hemipene. It's not true.
That's why I would with hatchlings, I pop them 3 times before I determine their actual sex. I pop them out of the egg, after their first shed, and then after their first meal, just to make sure I know exactly what they are. So we just started to go on a rampage and talk about so many other things. So let's get back to these questions.
Let's do it.
So this question, I'm excited to hear. Do you breed or buy your snake food?
I breed.
Okay. So are you able to breed to fully feed your collection?
I was.
Okay.
As the collection grew, it's a little bit harder. I probably have about 2 racks of rats I deal with. Probably about 36 tubs each rack. So I probably have over around 400 something rats for a collection of 36. There's times where I still can't keep up. I've had more problems with the rats than I have with the snakes. I've had water lines get infected where it killed half my collection. I was going home from work every 12 hours and stuff. I'd have 12 rats dead, no matter what, during the summer. So you can believe that smell. Now, granted, I do this all in my house and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie, but everything's clean, doesn't smell or nothing. But we have dead rats in the summer, know. So I had to sit there. I had clear water lines. I didn't know. With the clear water lines, with your rats and stuff, they develop algae. When you get the algae and stuff like that, it could contaminate your nozzles and your whole water supply. I think that's how they were dying. So I ended up replacing everything to black water lines, disinfecting everything, cleaning everything, and I fixed that problem. So at some point or whatever, was I buying rats? Yes, I was buying rats pretty steadily, probably for at least a month or 2 until I got my collection back up. Now I'm just now starting to recover from that. Breeding rats is just as hard as breeding snakes. It takes a lot of time and effort. If I don't sit there and produce enough rats for my collection, I'm spending at least $150 a week to feed my snakes.
Yep.
That's not like car that's spending $10 a rat. It's so expensive.
Car, you're getting ripped off.
He was in Washington. I live in Ohio.
Oh,
prices are a little different, dude. He's literally paying $10 a rat, Gershon.
Jeez.
So if you got, it's crazy, dude. It really is.
Yeah,
that's why I breed. Now
I didn't.
I got backup rat breeders that I can access over here. So luckily for me, but like for the most part, I do breed my own food. I try to.
Gotcha. So I didn't know about the clear tubing.
Yes.
Guy, that's a tip for me in itself.
For
I
you,
didn't know
man. Like you
that.
go breed your own rats and stuff. Like you want the black water lines because the sunlight won't get through those clear tubes of the water
Oh,
and will not develop that algae in those lines and stuff like that. Where since I've switched everything's been good. I've been getting my collection back up, and I've been doing decent. So
nice, nice. Yeah, breeding rats is a job in itself.
it is
100% job in itself. But
But it
if
saves
you're
you
in car
$12.
situation, you might have to do the paying $10 a
Right.
rat. But
So
it's a necessary evil.
I'm gonna put it in perspective for you guys for this. Like I'm completely honest with my channel and stuff like that as well. Like I have everything out in the open for the most part, besides maybe a couple hidden projects. But for the rats and stuff, like I spend probably around I say $70 for bedding and probably $80 for food. So you're looking at roughly $170, $180, to breed my rats. That will last me. That supplies will last me about 3 weeks, 2 weeks tops or so.
Okay.
Compared, honestly, probably about 3 weeks. I can get 10 bags of bedding or whatever. If I stretch it and stuff, I get about 3 weeks out of it because I clean rats once a week, and that saves me, compared to spending $150, $180 a week on buying my own food. So I mean, you're still saving $300-$400, a month.
Exactly.
My own labor of cleaning and taking care of my own rats. So to me, it's worth it.
Yeah, you gotta weigh. This is how it works. Either you want to pay with your money or pay with your time.
Exactly.
That's how you got to balance it out, and which is more precious to you at that time. Honestly, and that's where it goes. I mean, there's a lot of benefits, pros and cons to breeding your own. You know what they're being fed. You know how well they're being taken care of. So you know what you're feeding your snakes.
So what goes into your mice or in your rats goes into your snakes 100%.
Exactly. So someone talked about African soft furs or breeze. Have you ever dabbled in African soft furs?
I do both.
Okay.
I have rats and I have ASFs. I actually do both. I do the ASFs as I'm growing them up and whatnot, and then like once they get to a certain size, I will switch them to rats. I haven't had a problem. I only feed live. I do not feed frozen. If anyone wants to know that, frozen is too much pain in the ass for me. I ain't got time. Like you said, your time and your energy.
Yeah.
I don't have the time or the energy to sit there for 2 hours to warm up rats. I just throw a live rat in there and I'm good to go. I feed every Sunday. I'll go back through the tubs. I'll feed them all at once. I'll go back through the tubs. I'll double check, make sure they ate, make sure there's no live ones still in there. I'm good to go. My tip of the day too as well will be I only feed my males once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Now my females I feed once a week.
Okay.
For sure. But my breeder males, if they are not breeding for me, and I'm still growing up, because you don't want them to get fat and lazy on you.
True.
So I will only feed them once a week.
So I've heard it both ways that you don't want to get them fat and lazy, and sometimes people say bigger males breed better. So I know that it's I think it's more of a snake to snake situation.
Right.
Honestly,
I agree. I know Carr had one where it was too fat and lazy and wouldn't breed for him. I started listening to Austin, from King Austin from Billy Communication Creation. He's like, I only feed my males once every 2 weeks, and they get a small rat, and they're good, and they breed like champs. So I actually just started to imply this just recently, probably within the last 3 months. And this is like when I hit my rat shortage, so I wasn't spending so much on rats and stuff. And actually, it's been pretty decent. Actually, I can't complain with it.
Okay.
I have a pastel pied that will just slam rats every week if you want him to. He's getting fat. I'm like, dude, like you need to chill out. Like you're on a diet now. Like you will eat anything and everything. Like so, I mean, it just depends. Like I said, every snake is different. I mean, so everyone has their preference. I'm trying it out,
True.
see what happens.
True.
This is my first year with the Freedom Breeder rack. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Um. So, side note, I just switched from. I think I've been doing it a year now. I switched from feeding once a week with everybody to feeding
Yeah,
every other week with
right.
everybody. Um. And I'm seeing no change in growth. I
No,
am seeing a change in how many times animals refuse. They refuse a lot less. They seem to be retaining more of that rat instead of trying to get as much as they can to push it out because they know they're going to get fed again in a
right.
week. So they're starting to retain more of that rat. So I'm seeing positive, and it's helping my pocket a little bit. So, I mean, it ultimately is benefiting the animals, which is the most important part. Side benefit is not hurting my pockets as much to feed every other week than it was feeding weekly.
Correct.
So you got to do what works for your animals.
So
And
I heard too. I don't know if you heard this or not, Gershon. I don't know if you can vouch for this or not, but I heard that this is why that they hit that 1,000 gram wall. When you start feeding every week on certain animals and stuff like that, and I said every snake is different. You know, you have ones
true.
that may never hit it. Like I've had a couple that I have had one. My hypopide has hit it. You know, and she went off feed for a little bit. But if you start feeding every week, they'll get that fat storage and stuff like that. And as they build up that fat storage, and they want to use that fat storage first before they go
Hmm.
back on food, and that's where you get your 1,000 gram wall at. That's what I heard. It
So
makes sense.
it makes sense. I've had a couple girls hit the 1,000 gram wall when I was doing weekly. Um, um, I've had no, I guess I've been doing 2 years. So I've had girls that recently that I've been growing up that blew right past that 1,000 wall when I was feeding every other
Right.
week. So I still have a small sample size to really go off my conclusion of, but so far it seems that that does help with that 1,000 gram wall going to every other week instead of weekly.
Oh yeah.
So far, we'll see if that continues that way, but that's a positive way I want to keep it going. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, for sure. So
um.
I've had problems with two. My hypopide is about 2 years old, and she should have gone already. She's only
Okay.
7,000. She's being stubborn as hell. And then my super lemon pastel, the super lemon pastel leopard 66% het puzzle girl was being stubborn as hell too. But now she wants to eat. But I mean, like, so like I said, every snake is different. Other than that, it's been pretty solid. It's been pretty decent.
Okay. See what people are saying in the
Cars just flying
comments.
over here, past us.
Car.
Don't even highlight that.
Oh. Oh boy. Okay. So what do you use to edit your videos?
Power director.
Okay. How do you like that? Is that a paid for?
It is paid. I think I pay like $100 for a year.
Okay.
I think it's something like that. So I mean, it's quite simple, and it's nothing. It's kind of like if you remember being in high school and stuff, like editing videos and stuff like that on PowerPoint.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
close to that. It's super simple. Upload it, edit. I can throw the music in. I do all my intro. I do custom intros for my podcast as well for each breeder. I'm like, hey,
Okay.
send me your logo. Send me 3 snake pictures. I will edit it on that. You can get music as well. You might want to check this out, Gershon. It might help you. I don't get the copyright infringement as well on YouTube because through PowerPoint or it's through Power Director. So
Okay.
I'll upload it and I'm good to go.
So does it have the license in that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So you
Because
have
I usually use so YouTube has music they'll allow you to use that doesn't give you copyright. It's on the
right.
YouTube library. I use that, but everybody uses it too, so you hear it multiple times with different stuff.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, you can sit there and go on our PowerPoint, and it'll give you a different, like whatever kind of generic music that you want, like beats. Like obviously, it doesn't have lyrics to it, but like beats and stuff like that. You can listen to it, then you can download it into your Power Director, and then you can upload it into your video. So you can always switch it up. So if you guys ever go on my videos and stuff, most of the time, every intro or podcast for the most part, has a different music intro to it because of that. Now, I do like certain, beats more than others, and you will see a resemblance of, multi ones that I like to reuse and stuff like that. But for the most part, whatever, that's how I do it.
Okay. So, was that the first one you went to? The first one you started using?
Yep, that was the only one I started using. That was the first.
Okay.
I would probably continue to use that one, honestly.
Hit it right on the sweet spot. First one, like, hey, this works for me.
Right,
does what I need.
I operate it. Like my videos turned great on the channel. Jeremy, earlier was like, hey, he has a great YouTube channel, and part of it is your editing program that you use as well. Like it's just super simple.
Yeah, definitely. I could totally understand that. So definitely look into that if you're thinking about editing. That's a way to go. Check that out. Super simple, and apparently has a license with the music, so you don't have to worry about copyright strikes. So
if it's not broken, don't fix it.
I totally understand that. Yeah,
pretty much.
So guys, I'm at my last question. Probably will lead to another question. That's usually how that happens. But definitely put questions in the chat you have for Glenn. We'll definitely try to get to them. We'll probably get to them. We got enough time. We're not been getting too long. But here's my last question, which will probably lead to another question. So get ready for that. So what is your dream morph to make? I'm talking about it could be a 10-year project, 15-year project. But what is your dream morph to make that you're looking towards?
Stuff that I own. Okay, this ain't no.
It doesn't even have to be stuff you own. It can be stuff you plan to purchase down the road.
I'll go two ways with this. Okay. So
okay.
Stuff that I've owned that I can make right now. That's gonna be like a 10-year project, or if not, I've said it on other podcasts, on my own personal podcast as well. So if you follow me, you already know this. But obviously, I have the zebra. Okay, girl. And I'm going to be working the leopard DG hypo into that or whatever. So I'm trying to hit a freaking leopard DG hypo zebra type some sort. Okay. Maybe even a super leopard, DG hypo zebra. Who knows? Okay. Something that I don't have or whatever. I like maybe like a super mandarin hypo zebra DG, who freaking knows or whatever, like something crazy like that or whatever, even something like DG hypo, clown stuff, like or like a quad recessive, like it'd be nuts.
Okay,
where the market's going. I mean, like you can only imagine, people dream stuff. I mean, but like I say, like my dream morph is something that I want to make, is something that I'm working towards. For me, that's just how I am. So
okay, so was there any codoms in that?
Yeah, leopard.
Okay. So leopard.
One.
Huh, okay.
Because I do have an NG chocolate DG hypo girl, but it doesn't do me any good to a girl. So
yeah.
But like I said, those two, the leopard DG hypo boy and the NG chocolate DG hypo girl, are going to be the base of my DG hypo project. Because I can have males, I have females, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you still can go either direction.
I can go either way with it. It doesn't matter. I can pair it to whatever. And if that boy of that DG Fire spot nose pinstripe, 66% hypo, 50% het cryptic boy proves out to be cryptic, it's on. That's another one. Like maybe make some kryptons or cryptics or some crazy combos as well. Like. So
that would be super interesting.
It's going places, man. It's the potential. Like I'm only in year 2 of this. This is my actual first big breeding season.
Yeah.
I produced one clutch. It was a simple Mojave hypo to a banana Mojave, just to test my process.
Okay.
Make sure my incubator was good. Make sure my tub humidity was good in the incubator. That where my eggs were at. Make sure that whole process was good. I used Sea Serpent's incubator, which you can't go wrong with. But it was good. So now I'm like, okay, I'm good. I didn't want to spend, all that money on incubator and do all this effort, buy all these males and females, and my incubation process be shit. Oh, I just lost out on a $40,000 or $50,000 clutch because my incubator sucks.
True.
You know what I mean?
So is Is this your second breeding season?
This is my second breeding season.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm just starting, dude.
And the stuff that you can produce this season alone.
Yeah. I went high end. Like if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this right. I'm going high end. So let's put it this way: every extra money that I had, I put my whole social life on hold for 2 years for this.
Hey, that's dedication. I can't do nothing but admire that.
Yeah, there was no going out to the bars. There was no going out extra money. Like every extra penny of this went into the snakes. Now I'm not gonna lie, I probably have out of all of it, of everything that I spent, which is quite a bit. I probably only have maybe $20,000 in snake debt, which isn't bad.
No, that's not bad. Not bad.
So
bad.
Not bad. I even sold my like I said, I sold my nitrous Challenger scat pack.
Yeah.
To get into the zebra project. I was getting bored with the sports cars. I had a nitrous Challenger scat pack that was pushing 600 horsepower on this. It was about 650, I think, when I had it tuned and stuff. To get into more into the snakes and stuff. I'm going all in. Like, let's do it. That's the
definitely that's how you're gonna get to that 10-year plan. Like you're dedicated.
You gotta buy like where the market's at now and stuff. You gotta sit there and if you gotta spend $5,000 on a snake, I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah.
When I interviewed Tony from Hardwire Exotics and stuff, and he was like, if you want it bad enough, I'll eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a week or two. Yep. I don't care.
Ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles. We'll find a way.
Definitely.
It's been there. I know Carr, he's got some fire stuff too and stuff, and he stretches it too just as much as I do right now because I know it's an investment and I know it's going to pan out.
I think I seen John say he's getting a second job so he can start saving up money. So he's probably not going to sleep. So I've done. I did some Ubering here and there to pay for some snakes. Yeah, I can understand it. Definitely can understand it. Working these overtime shifts. Yeah,
it's no joke, dude. For real.
When you have that dream, you want to chase it down. You have to put that time into it.
This is like my last little bit of piece for advice for you guys too. Like, so when I first started, I went cheaper on the racks than I did the snakes. So I went sea serpents racks because it was PVC. It was cheaper. I went heavy dollar on those first beginning snakes and stuff like that because your money's going to make obviously in your snakes. You're not going to get a return off of your racks.
Exactly.
So then as I started growing and I started getting more money and stuff like that going, then I bought my Freedom Breeder rack. Still got the Sea Serpents racks. I need another one, but that's all I have right now. But I have enough money in this where it's a nice little dollar amount behind me right now.
Exactly.
Exactly. You know how it is, dude. That's just, go cheaper on your racks first, and then make a couple clutches or whatever. Buy your higher end racks.
Yeah, that's what they say. Let your snakes buy your equipment.
Correct.
That's the way you should do it.
Yep.
To upgrade your equipment, let your snakes do that. That's the smart way to do it. 100%.
For sure.
But that's all my questions. Is there anything you want to promote? Videos you got coming up that people should be excited about? Oh, you're gonna pull out a snake too?
Pull out a snake. We're gonna show you guys a zebra real quick.
Oh, I was gonna ask about it. I was gonna ask. Let's put you on solo.
The pause is you. I know you haven't seen her yet, have you?
I haven't. I think you showed her on one podcast before. That's about it. And it was when it was real young too.
Yeah, she's brighter now. I just posted an updated picture of her on Instagram. So with the zebra and stuff, obviously you get the deep blacks. You get more of a blow up pattern. It can almost kind of like puzzle, but it's not. It gets better with age. But I mean, honestly, it's really the blacks, the white blushing in the blacks. Like right here, you can see obviously. So I'm really excited about this one, guys. I mean, obviously you can see the flaming, in those blacks as well. So, I mean, that's just a single gene zebra. all that is.
So what do they say it works best with? Is it? I know pastel looks crazy in it.
People are saying pastel. I'm not a big pastel fan. I've seen them as an adult. I'm not a fan of it.
Okay.
The spot nose Enchi looks insane in them. It's so new right now. I was probably one of the top, 5 or 6 that got into it when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
That is Justin. I know Justin has some. I know Steve has one. I believe there's not too many of us in the United States that has them. That's working with them so much. So that's why when they first came out, I jumped on it right now. Like she's sitting at right now. She's about a year old, and she's sitting at about 1,100 grams.
Okay. Okay.
She's a monster. I do know that I did sell a pair of triple heads to Carr. That was going to be the only ones I was going to release. I'm keeping the rest of them if I hit the odds. So Carr is going to get a pair of that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's the potential on this is going to be insane. It's going to blow up. I promise you, it's going to blow up.
Definitely. So, any other videos you got coming up, or any shows you're vending coming up? Let the people know.
I don't vend anything like real big at Tinley yet. I will. That's a goal. That's a goal in the in the near future.
Gotcha.
Sure. Just local reptile shows and stuff like that. With the pet quality stuff. I do have a video I'm going to be hopefully recording this weekend of how to breed ball pythons.
Okay.
The process and everything that you need to know based on my experience. So I'm going to produce that. It's going to be my next video. I'm hoping to record it here with Will here later on tonight. Hopefully after this podcast. Honestly, you should be here about any time, I hope.
Okay.
So we're going to be doing that video and go through the process and everything that you need to know, tips, tricks. So check out that video, guys. But, I mean, it's been fun, man.
Okay. Yeah, so who is your guest this Saturday? Who's your guest this Saturday?
I'm not doing one this Saturday. I haven't found anyone. Like, I try to schedule like within a week ahead of time to do. I was going to try to get Nicole on, but she says she's done so many of them right lately. She won't do until the first of the year, which is fine. No big deal. So like I said, I didn't have one scheduled this week. It got done. I've hit them pretty hard the last 3 weekends. So I go like in and out of them. Normally I'll put them up, on a Wednesday. So that way people can get the notifications or subscribe to the channel. And they can, and then they can check it out. And I'll spam the shit out of it on my Instagram or whatnot. So, I mean, if you want to come on one on Saturday, man, let me know.
Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up. I have to look at the weather and see when it's not snowing. Because I would hate to have to be like, I got to go to work or be half tired on it. I would hate to do that. So we'll definitely link up and definitely get a date for you. But yeah, definitely go make sure you're subscribed to his channel. Link in the description down below. Hit that subscribe button. Find him on Instagram. Instagram link down there as well. Do you have anything on Morph Market right now?
I got 2. I got Mojave hypos off. I got 2 females on Morph Market right now. That's it.
Okay.
I got the high quality Mojave. This is just a single gene Mojave girl. That's it. Just single gene.
Really? Oh, wow.
That I produced. So I mean, this is telling you how pure my lines are that I'm working with.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you can't.
That is a real clean Mojave.
That's just a single gene head hypo girl. That's it.
Yeah, she's got those. Ooh, yeah. That's a nice looking Mojave.
And she's probably sitting about 300 grams right now.
Okay.
So I have them on Morph Market for right now on $250 on Morph Market, free shipping.
Okay. So guys, go definitely look at this Morph Market.
Now it's winter, so if you guys are interested in one of those, let me know for sure. Get your head hypo projects going. It's great, great Mojave gene right there to get into it.
Definitely. So, guys, before we go, we have to say thank you to our sponsor one more time.
Thanks, Mike.
Without further ado, here is our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Herp Collectors. They're a family-run business specializing in investment quality morphs to help other breeders achieve their project dreams and beyond. They are working with a couple different morphs specifically. Their baseline is clown, desert ghosts, and hypo. And they're dabbing a little bit in the ultramale and pieds as well. So definitely check them out for ball python needs. They are slowly coming up in the industry, and they're going to be producing some amazing animals very soon. But that's not all. They also have a YouTube channel. Of course, you know we're all about YouTube over here. They do a live podcast on their YouTube channel every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time called Clutch Conversations. It's a great podcast. I was actually on it, and Mike does an amazing job interviewing guests. He also brings guests from all over the industry and talks to them. It's a definite watch if you're free on Thursdays. And if you're not, you can still listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcast apps. Their mission is also to share the excitement of working with these reptiles, as well as bringing people together to promote and preserve our hobby. So what are you waiting for? Go follow and subscribe to their YouTube, their Instagram, their Facebook, and their TikTok. Thanks for sponsoring this episode, Herb Collectors. And Mike, okay. Thanks again, Mike. I was still on mute. Slow computer, so it happens that way. Thanks again, Mike, for sponsoring this episode. Greatly appreciate you. Definitely go check all his links there in the description down below. Morph Market, YouTube, Instagram, his podcast. You can listen to the audio version. He's actually got me doing my audio version of my podcast. Like I won't say bully, but I pushed him to do his YouTube. And now he's pushed me to do an audio version of my podcast. So thank you for that, Mike, as well. Definitely go check him out on all the platforms and tell him I sent you. But, Glenn, thank you so much for coming on. Greatly appreciate it. Man.
Check out 419 Morphs on YouTube. I do podcasts as well. I'm also on Instagram. We are doing the 500 sub giveaway for the YouTube as well. Free snakes and free gear. So make sure you sub, like, comment on those videos, guys, because it's going down over here as well. So
definitely. The links are in the description down below. So make sure you guys hit that, follow that. Don't what was I gonna say? Go bug him about setting up more guests for his podcast. Go bug him. Tell him to get on top of it.
If anyone wants to come on the podcast, man, it don't matter. Like, small
hit him up.
Beginning breeder, like I'm about it. Like we're gonna get your name out there. That's what the community is about, right?
Exactly. Help each other grow together.
So like I said, I'll have big breeders. I've done a couple of big breeders on there. I've done a couple of small breeders. So don't be shy. Shoot me a message on Instagram if you want in on that podcast. We will set something up, guys.
Definitely. So, guys, that's the show for the night. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. Greatly appreciate it. I forgot to tell you guys to hit that like button because YouTube likes it when you guys hit that like button. I like that YouTube likes it. So, appreciate if you could hit that like button. If you're not done for the night, go check out someone else's live podcast. We got Keys Constrictors Hair Down Fridays going on right now. All animal show is supposed to happen later on with Iron Dog Chris. That happens, I think, at like 9, maybe. I don't think Derek is doing his show live tonight. Michaela has her show going on, I believe. There's a lot of them. Go spread the love. Go show someone else's channel some love. And, hit the comments. Say hey in the comments. Give them something to talk about, too. Help them out. Sometimes it's hard podcasting and talking. And sometimes we need a couple topics here and there. So show your love and say what's up. But, guys, thank you for coming. Next video will be Thursday. Yeah. Next video for me Thursday. So check that out. I'm about to go to sleep because I got to go plow snow. So, guys, hope you guys have a good weekend. If you haven't, go tell someone you love them, you care about them, let them know. You never know how that. You never know how that might give somebody the strength to go on. Some people are in dark places sometimes, and just hearing that they are loved and cared about can give them that strength to keep going. I know that sounds dark, but it's coming from a positive place. Yeah. But guys, have fun, enjoy life, and thank you for coming. Glenn, stick around. We're gonna talk in a second.
Okay, man.
Bye-bye, everybody.